Hi, everyone. Okay, so today we're going to talk a little bit about giving and receiving and the art of being open to receiving. Oftentimes, I see people doing this energetic dance with each other where they receive a gift and then it causes them to kind of clench down and be in kind of, oh, geez, now what's going to be expected of me kind of mode. And it could be something small, like somebody brought you lunch. And then because of your past programming, your past experiences with receiving something that wasn't asked for or wasn't expected, may cause you to be like, oh, great, now I have to keep score in my head and I have to remember to buy that person lunch again the next time. Now, this is a very tight looped manifestation system. It doesn't help anything because if we're doing the tit for tat thing, nothing expands. So if I give you $100 and you give me $100 the next time I see you, we're just exchanging $100. But if I use the experience in a gratitude open way and just say thank you for that lunch that was delivered to me, maybe it fuels my day. Maybe it gives me a little extra time to reach out to a friend or to have to meditate or to find some extra moments in my day because that person gave me that gift of lunch. Now, it doesn't mean that I have to immediately run back to that person and return the favor. In fact, if I let myself expand the gift inside myself, kind of like that pay it forward concept, then whatever happens next is unexpected and expansive. And it may or may not directly go back even to the person who had given it to me in the first place. And same goes with us giving with expectation. If we give with the expectation that somebody's going to do something, call that a one-sided contract. Like in your head, you're saying to yourself, if I do this, then they'll do that. And it almost always ends in resentment. It almost always ends in you being mad at the person you gave to for not following through with that contract you made inside yourself. So think about this a little bit as far as going into the expansive state of our manifestation, our energy fields are moving into being more intuitive beings. Intuitive beings don't keep track of how much sunlight the energy of the sun gave them today and make sure they give that sunlight back, right? They just absorb what's around them. They take in the gifts. They are grateful. They're open to receiving. And they let that flow really happen around them. And this goes for all kinds of things. Now, in the context of good manners, social practices, religious practices, a lot of times we're taught to be humble, to be, just grateful for what we have. And I'm not dismissing that you should be this hedonistic, greedy little thing that just munches up everything and says, what now? But what I'm saying is that if you use this humility energy in the wrong way, you block all the flow. You block other people from the gift of giving to you. You block the energetic manifestation energies that are trying to help grow and expand you and push you forward because you're just being like humble and no, don't give me too much. And to be honest, it's not about having more because oftentimes the people who have more or have a lot are more unhappy because it takes more energy to try and manage that. Whereas if we just let the flow of having what we need and having what is right in this moment come and go, we actually are happier, more flowing, more available to ourselves and each other. So here's the thing. When it comes to energy, so the receiving line runs up the front of your body. And it's the vulnerable side. So, if you think about if you have to lay like this with your body wide open, somebody can come in there and get you in the belly. So we oftentimes, want to protect ourselves and not be vulnerable, not let things in. Now, when we're really nice and balanced and we have our energy really flowing, we're grounded, we've got our energy pushed arm's length around us in all directions, we're letting ourselves be settled in our energy field, we will have a natural giving and receiving field to what's good for us and what isn't. When it isn't good for us, we will have that contracted feeling. And we can gently just say, no, thank you. And when it's good for us, we'll have this expansive, like, oh my gosh, thank you so much, natural gratitude. But our subconscious programming that told us to be grateful for whatever is given to you or allowing other people to kind of override your needs just to be polite, that is kind of an injustice to your whole energy field. And on a side note, it oftentimes it teaches children, if you're working with kids in this way, teaches them not to have good personal boundaries, which can cause them to get exploited. So allowing them to say no when they need to say no, gently, in a nice way, not rudely. This isn't about lacking manners. This is about finding our expansive selves and saying, no, thank you for that. That whatever you're giving to me is not good for me, and whatever is good for me will come, and I'm saving space for that. Now, a little bit of a side note on that. Sometimes I see people waiting too long to say yes in just the effort to they have big expectations of something bigger or better coming. And sometimes the manifestation fields want to deliver in parts and pieces so that you could put the puzzle together and be ready for that connection to what you're asking for. So this isn't about saying no either. And I know it's a tricky little dance, but it's really just something to try to begin to start working with, begin to start understanding when you are saying no, when you maybe could be saying yes, and when you're saying yes, when you could be saying no, and see where you might just make some tweaks. Okay, so the next time somebody gives you a compliment, just say thank you. And the next time somebody tries to ask you to do something with them or for them just because they want you to say thanks, gee, thanks, just gently say no, thank you, that's not for me. All right, give it a shot. Let me know how it goes.